Hello, everybody. I'm so glad that you are here with us and with my team. Oh my God. Hey. Here is my awesome team. A lot of times I always refer to them in my trades table talks. I'm always saying this or that about the team, and it's not me, it's the team, it's the team, it's the team. Well, here is the team, and I'm still missing a person from the team, which is Ariana Farmer, who's our current on-site program manager. She happens to be my daughter. But she knows it's JMC business right now. I don't care who birthed you. Right now, it's about JMC. So these are the awesome people here who make JMC awesome and wonderful, and who are helping this organization grow, and who you can look to be the trusted adults for these children in foster care. So I want to start off by, let's go seniority. So let's go Tony Daniels. Wave at us, Tony. That beautiful smile. Tony has been with us since day one. She started out as a visit supervisor, then it turned into family time. So basically, she would pick up kids and supervise the visits between the parent and the child. These are court-ordered visits. And so that was our first contract that we executed in November of 2017. And then in April of 2018, we got licensed with our girls' home in Yelm, and who came in as a youth direct care person. And now she is our child placement agency's case manager, Claudine. Yay! And Claudine was the one who all the kids just loved. I'm going to back up real quick. So Tony has been managing the parent and child visitation for a long time. And for many of us who are contractors in family time or parent-child visitation, we got hit hard with COVID. So we've been able to pivot, and Tony would do a couple of parent-child visits. I think we have one case right now where we used to have thousands, a few hundreds of hours. We are one family, but Tony has been able to work to get us a contract with the local school district where we are doing McKinney-Vento transportation. And basically, instead of supervising the visits, we are now picking them up for school, dropping them off, picking them back up, bringing them home. So these are for kids who are out of their district, placed out of their district. So we're still able to continue our services for foster care, but we've had to just pivot. And that so far is going very well. And so we hope to expand that. We've already had a conversation with another district, so we plan to expand that hopefully in next year. So that'll be great. So then let me go back to Claudine now. Claudine started out as a youth direct care person, and she was the cool one. She was the one that all the girls loved. They loved hanging out with big sis Claudine. They loved it. They loved it. And so now she has grown. She was the associate program manager, and we opened up our emergency placement home at the Littles program. And we decided to pivot again. In this business, you got to pivot based on the need. So we're flexible like that. And I believe that's why we continue to grow, and we continue to just have other opportunities to take care of these kids, right? So Claudine now is our case manager for the child placing agency. She's transitioned into that position. And I'm sure there's more that I will have Claudine do, because she's just amazing and she has a great rapport with the kids. And she's still learning a lot, as we all are. So hello to Claudine. And then after Claudine came to Pale Lotu. And Pale, she started out as youth direct care at a girl's house. Because remember, we're celebrating 5 years at the girl's house. She started out there. She came to us July of 2018, right, Pale? Pale, you've been with us that long too? Oh my God. This is why we're able to stay in business right here, these people. And so she came, and then she got promoted to the on-site program manager. And then she went from there. Now she is our operations supervisor, where she just kind of makes sure everything is going well. And wherever she's needed is where she operates. Because when you have a small agency, as we do, you got to wear many hats. And I appreciate their willingness to do that. Okay. So that's really awesome. And so after Paulette came, then we had Ariana, who's not on here right now, but Ariana, right in her last year of college in 2020, she became like a visitation supervisor. And then she started working a little bit direct care, because with her college degree that she was pursuing, she was able to do that. And now she is our program manager at the girls' house, and she's doing well as well. So she had a previous employment, but we will have her a part of this, because she definitely is key to helping us continue to grow and establishing things and keeping things going out there in Yelm. And then after that came Mavis Turner. I call her the youth whisperer. Mavis came in for the sole purpose of her to be the program manager at our boys house emergency placement boys house. And she's been with us a little over 3 years now. And I feel blessed to have gotten her because she had, 30 plus, 40 plus years working in childcare. I mean, as a teenager, she's always babysat. She actually babysat my husband, by the way. But she's been a long time friend. She's a family member and she knows these kids. And when I tell you, she is gifted at de-escalating a child and keeping a child from blowing up and making the connections. These boys will cry. They will fight to not leave us because of Mavis and the team that she has established there at our boys' house. And so we're excited about what she's doing out there. Okay, then after that, who came? Then it would have been Josh. So later on, you'll hear from Michelle. So I think it was me, Michelle, and Paulette. We interviewed Josh. Is that right? Was that? So we interviewed Josh. Josh came in, and you know what I love about he came in so passionate, and he came in with the idea, educated. He could have gone anywhere with his degree and his compassion for what he wanted to do, the field that he wanted to work in. He could have gone anywhere, but he just came with all this enthusiasm and everything. So he ended up working as a direct care person at our girls' house. Again, all of us started at that girls' house. Everybody has been at the girls' house, even Mavis before we got licensed with the boys. She was at the girls' house. So Josh came in as direct care person, and then that didn't last too long because we had to need a child placement agency. Remember I talked to you about all of those different hats we got to wear? So we had to do that. So he became our child placement program manager, our case manager, and our licensor. So he has been doing a whole lot. He still wears a lot of hats, but let me tell you about Josh. He may get a little overwhelmed, but it's not in the sense of, I'm ready to quit. It's more so that I want to do a good job. I want to make sure these kids are good. And that compassion and the passion that he has for the work, you can't talk to Josh and just ask him one question about him. He's going to keep on talking about it because he's so passionate. So now I'm excited because he is going to be our program manager at our BRS homes, our behavioral rehabilitation services that we're doing. We're excited about that. So that's going to happen hopefully May. That is the goal. DCYF, if you're listening, May is when we want our first kiddo. May, DCYF. All right. So he's going to be the program manager. All right. And then, am I missing anybody? I think that's everybody here, right? All of our management team. And then, of course, me, founder, director. Listen, I'll do what needs to be done. I've been done the direct care. I transport kids in the morning. Tony got me working. Sometimes they're my boss. And they tell me what I got to do, which is great. It's great. So I appreciate that. We are truly a team. I really appreciate their voices because they're intelligent people and they care about the work here and they care about these kids. They want to make sure that we do a good job. So I appreciate that. Okay. I'm going to start these questions. I don't know why Peggy put 15 minutes. She knows I talk when it's about this stuff, but that's okay. We're going to have a couple of you. What led you to work at JMC? And just start talking or raise your hand or however you want to do it. Mavis, and then Paulette.
So what led me to work at JMC was, of course, I worked in daycare for 40 years. Wow. And working in that field, I'm getting a little older, so I wanted to spice up my life in my latter years. So I came to JMC because it's still working with children, but yet in a different capacity. So I thought it was going to be a little different, but I was surprised by all the spicy parts too. Working in foster care. I love my boys. I love my staff. And JMC has just given me, I could say a couple years ago, I would be petrified to talk to you on even Zoom. So now I'm a little bit more comfortable, you can see. And I just love how I've grown, pretty much.
I love it. I love it. Paulette.
Well, during that time, I had just lost my mother, so I was getting back into the work field. And so actually my sister-in-law, who is Claudine's mother, and then of course Claudine, my family members, they had already started working with you. And so they told me about it because also I was also working at Lincoln High School, volunteering my services with high school students. And so being that the girls' house was more so teenagers, it was kind of within the field that I was looking in. So I was like, why not get the experience? If I hear foster care, foster kids, growing up, I had a village. I knew nothing about foster care or anything like that. And so it was a good experience to learn something new. And just from my upbringing, coming to meet Trelane and even just the purpose of what JMC is, it was just like, okay, you know what? I was like, we have our own villages. Let's bring a village to these children and just make a difference within their lives and whatnot. And so that's what drew me. And I still continue to be here because at the end of the day, although, yes, my family is still here, my personal family is still working with JMC. JMC became another family to me. That's why we all still continue to stay here. Little side note, I always tell this story to where when I first met Trelane on my interview, so I looked her up on Facebook. I was like, I don't know what she looks like. I was like, I'm meeting this stranger, whatnot. So as soon as I pulled up her profile on Facebook, I saw her picture with her husband. I was like, oh my gosh, I know this guy. I actually made on their wedding day. I actually made their money lays in our culture, Samoan culture.
Yes.
We make money lays, for our loved ones and special occasions or whatnot and stuff. So one of my brothers is a good friend of Alex Davis, who's Trelane's husband, and then put an order in. They're like, hey, my friend's getting married. Can you make these lays? I drop it off at their church. And then years later, here I am working with them, and they're now my family.
Yes, I love it. Small world. I love it. She was like, and she told me a story about how one time she had to pick up Alex and Vince that they had been drinking too much. I goes, the pastor. No, he wasn't pastor there, y'all. But anyway, all right, let's move on. Thank you both. All right, name a time while working at JMC that was a reminder to you of your why. Why you continue to stay in this profession, because it can get frustrated. But what happened that reminded you? This is why I do this. Josh, you have your hand up? Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump on here, real quick. And actually, there's a lot of opportunities to get reminded of that why. But most recently, one of the whys that I remember is that we had a kiddo that came in and out of the girls' house that I had worked with first couple times there, and she was really driven to want to grow and to succeed despite a lot of the challenges that have been thrown her way. And we've stayed in touch with her, and we've been her family. And just hearing from her that she got a job, she got her own apartment, she got she's ready to go to school, and she's growing. And even it felt so great. She called me out by name. She's like, I remember in the homes, practicing interview questions with Josh, and getting ready for interviews. I was like she could have just stayed in touch, and just hearing those things was heartwarming themselves. But then just to know that she took a little nugget, from what we did together, and was able to use it to grow and succeed herself. Felt so good. And that's what I want to provide for kiddos. Just even if it's a small little nugget of support that they're able to take forward. That's what I want them to leave with. Some way to grow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anybody else? Anything? Go ahead, Claudine.
I'm gonna just piggyback off of what Josh was saying. I would say the same thing. Just hearing when the kids leave JMC and then they don't have to reach out to us, but they still reach out to us. I just had a kid recently who just reached out to me, and I forgot I had given her my number. And she was like, hey, this is so and so. I have a family and all this stuff, and just telling me all the good stuff that she's been going through, and just her explaining how she's got everything going on and how much I've impacted her just within the 15 days, 30 days that she was here with us. It just meant a lot because it just showed that like the little things that we do that we don't expect to like impact somebody, it really does impact them. So just things like that kind of pushes me, especially even on our hard days with kids. It just reminds me like they're not mad at us, they're mad at their situation. So not to take everything so personally. So just little things like that kind of helps me keep going.
I love that. I love that. That is so awesome. And that's the same thing. You get that text, you get that message, and it's like, hey, Mr. Lane, I'm doing good. This is what's going on. It is amazing. It's so encouraging. It motivates me to keep going. So the next question, if you could sum up JMC in 3 core values, what would those be and why did you choose them? Tony hasn't said anything. She's the quiet warrior.
I was personally waiting on number 4 and 5.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody else can answer that. 3 core values and why. Mavis.
The 3 I stick that's in my heart for JMC is honesty and trust, love, compassion, family. I'm sorry, that's all in one core. And then we elevate. We don't stay stagnant in a position. We learn and we become better than where we started. So I don't want to get teary, so I'm gonna get off right now because I am.
It does make you emotional. Like I have been, I mean, you guys know I started tearing up when I was talking to you guys at our weekly management meeting, and it's just in your chest because this is hard work. You cannot be in this work and not have a heart. You have to guard it in the sense of, as Claudine was saying, not take the things personally, but you have to not wear your heart on your sleeve, but you have to let it be available so that you can care and be offended, you know, and things like that. But know that, as Claudine said, they're not there to attack you personally. They don't like the situation, but it's hard work. It requires heart to know that. And you guys are directly with them every day. And when I talk to them on the phone, usually it's because they want something, they don't like an answer, and they think they're going to get a different answer. And it's like, well, what did Miss So-and-so say? I'm in agreement. Thank you. But anyway, so it's always good. So, okay, anybody else want to answer that? 3 core values? Go ahead, Josh.
And it's interesting. One of mine and Mavis's overlap. So that should be happening though. We're a team. So like you said, we sometimes say the same thing over to these kids because that's what they expect to hear something different, but it's all the same. And really the 3 that I go back to are honesty, empathy, and respect. Because as you know, I really see this and yeah, you're right. Hard not to get emotional. Because because it's something we care about, we're a family and when it comes down to it, us as the staff and then together, but then for these kiddos, we need to be a family what you expect from your family is that sometimes tough honesty that you have to provide them. But honesty throughout, sometimes they feel like they're not getting fair treatment or the what they deserve and just telling them how we can help and being upfront and showing that empathy alongside it of like, man, this is a tough situation for you. And I'm here to provide you with the support, provide a little flexibility where we can in order for you to feel safe and respected. Because then that's what it comes down to is respect. You to do all those 3 things, that's the best way to establish connection and establish trust and these solid relationships we have with our kiddos.
That's awesome. Thank you both. Thank you both. All right. Now, Tony, while working at JMC, what is something that you have learned about or taught yourself?
I would say just growing up and always being in my little bubble, in my little shell, I've learned that I do have leadership capabilities and I am able to pivot with change, where change is, because nothing is steady in the world of foster care, ever. It's never been steady. Nothing. Nothing at all. So yeah,
no 2 days are alike.
Right. Just growing and learning who I am in the process. Since I've been with JMC.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Claudine, I think I saw you again. Were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
I was agreeing with Tony, but I'll answer. I would say patience, definitely for me personally. I would say patience because when I did join JMC, I had no patience for these kids. I just came in thinking that, oh, we're gonna love all the kids are gonna be so nice. And I did that to myself. So as I was growing with JMC, I learned a lot of patience. And like I said earlier, just reminding myself that it's not towards me. They're just angry at their situation, but I'm just there. So all the anger comes towards me. But just learning to be patient with them and remind them that I'm here for them and that I'll do whatever I can while they're with us to support them. Even when they leave, they can always reach out to me. So just learning to have patience was one of my biggest things.
That's great. That's great. And that's one thing we always try to do. We always tell the kids, and it happens often, particularly at the girls' house. We always let the girls and the boys, but let the girls have the phone number to the house. And oftentimes we'll get phone calls from kids just letting us know that they're safe and they're doing well. And, there may be some that are doing well that they don't remember to reach back. But there are some that's even proclaimed that they are going to work for us. I have one that's told me that she's going to be the attorney, on site. And I'm like, well, I better get some big dollars for you. But she's going to be the child's attorney so she could really advocate for the kids that we serve, because she was in our program and she wants to do what she can to help us move forward. And I think that is just beautiful, and it really attributes to you guys. So our last question, and I hope everybody sees themselves in 5 years. Where do you see yourself and JMC 5 years from now? Go ahead, Paulette.
Well, I see ourselves as JMC itself has had this plan within the next 2 to 3 years, and we're going to claim it, JMC Village. We're going to have our JMC Village out, at our basically our playground and stuff where Yelm is at, our Yelm location, where we're now celebrating our 5 years, and we're going to celebrate another 5 years. So when we have this next video in the next 5 years, it's going to be double the management team. It's going to be double everybody, and everybody will still be here, right? Right. So I see myself. I see myself in JMC that we are going to finally have our village that we've been talking about.
Yes.
That consists of 9 different homes, different services, just the whole shebang. Very blessed and thankful that we are getting our feet wet in literally every aspect of DCYF, just so that way it is helping us to learn and grow. So once we do have our village, like, we're set. We know, are we always going to have everything right? No, we're not. Every day is always a new learning day. A new situation is always, a new learning situation as well. And so we're just going to take everything that we've learned, that we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to utilize that in our village. And we're just going to, we're going to make noise. We are a small agency, but
I love that.
We have big hearts.
I love that. Make some noise. I love that. I love that. Thank you.
Small but mighty. Yes,
small but mighty. I'm excited, and I really believe that, because we're doing the work. We're not just talking about it, but we are about it. We're doing the work. Each of you do the work, whether it's coaching your staff on how to handle certain behaviors, putting them through trainings, or just even what I love about what you guys do is it's not just business. You build relationships and rapport so that your staff. I know that Ariana, there was one of our wonderful employees who's actually been on Trey's Table Talks, and she was kind of having some personal struggles, and so her attendance was kind of, concerning. And she had a conversation with her and found out what was going on. And since then, there hasn't been an issue. And it's been a couple months now, something like that, almost 2 months. But it's going beyond just clocking in. And because if your people are good, then they're going to be good to care for these children who need them to be present and de-escalated when they walk in the door, ready to serve them, and leaving any problems that they have at home, not coming in the door with them, wherever they are coming in the door. So you all do a great job, as well as making sure that, and then the foster parents in this case, managing them and what they need as well. So the caregivers, taking care of the caregivers is what you all do, and you do that very well. So anybody else, where do you see yourself in JMC in 5 years? Now, listen, I'm okay if you say, I see myself somewhere else, but I see myself giving JMC a big check every month. That's okay too. Mavis.
I like that. That means that I'm rich. So yeah.
Yes.
I like that. So where I see myself, I talked about I'm gonna retire because I'm there. But I see myself still working with my boys. Maybe in a bigger capacity, working with the boys.
Yes.
I don't know what that looked like yet, but
we don't either.
because we're already making noise. I just want to let you know that. From what I'm hearing from the social workers and the kids, and we're making noise. So but that's where I see myself working with my boys, because we have to instill in these young men, because they turn out to be leaders, and we want them to be the greatest. Because I tell every one of my boys that come in here, you're gonna be great, and you can do anything that you put your mind to. So be great at doing what you do best, and be the best you. You don't have to compare to anybody else, but who you are is the best you. So where I see myself,
I love it.
Still like planting those seeds of leadership in our boys. And then I don't work with the girls as much, but also our girls. So
anybody else?
Go for it, Tony.
Go ahead, Josh. You got it.
I think this just in 5 years, I hope that, really with the way we've started to kind of dip our toes in a lot of the continuum of care that we see present in DCYF, I just hope that, I don't hope, I see that JMC is going to be that continuum of care for a child, so that when we take a child in, we're taking them in as a commitment to them for the long term. They're going to grow within us, and they're going to stay connected to us some way or another, whether it's, receiving the services we have, supporting them getting to school, or finding a foster family that fits for them, and, giving them a forever home, or at least a home that they can stay at reliably until they get back home with their parents. So, just never letting go, kiddos. We don't anyway. We never really let go, kiddos. We always stay connected as we can, but really, taking them in and giving them that commitment that, hey, we're going to find you stability and safety within our village, and we won't let you go.
That's awesome. Tony?
I always tell the social workers of previous kids, like if, for instance, we have kids that were part of the emergency placement and then they come to be a part of transportation. It's like, once a JMC kid, always a JMC kid. We will support them however we can. Now, they'll ask for stuff that I'm like, no, I can't do that per contract, but I'll see how I can help. But I need, in 5 years, JMC to donate to me, because these kids is killing my pockets.
All right.
I can't let them go. I don't know why, but I can't let them go. I feed children. I buy children stuff. I
Tony,
just can't help it, you know? I just
she
can't help
buys
it.
them clothes. She
Shoes,
bought some, one of
you
the
know.
kids, but shoes for their academic, their after school stuff. I mean, and you can go, well, what is the foster parent doing? What is, but that's not really our concern. At the end of the day, we see a need, and Tony's one that's gonna make sure they have it. Period.
Yeah. No, but for see myself in 5 years, I can only think of one word, and it's forward, because we are a forward thinking group of people.
Wow,
We're
that's
just
good.
moving forward and growing.
You guys are so amazing. I love that. It's so funny because you all have learned, because I will say, and once we put this BRS home, we're done. And you're like, mm-hmm. But when opportunities, if you weren't good, we wouldn't be asked to do certain things, right? So this is what, like the EPS littles, it really wasn't a part of our plan, but we were asked to do it. We did it. It didn't work out like we thought, or even DCYF had thought it would work out. So we pivoted. And so now we're going to find another need. And we just want to make sure these kids are great. So I just want to say I appreciate each of you, and keep on hanging in there, keep making, let's move forward, whatever opportunities come in the realm of helping children in foster care. And we are expanding to other areas, and but it's all going to make sense. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for your time. And so now we are going to talk to Michelle McDaddy, who was a former JMC employee, and she's going to talk to us as well about her experience here. She's moved on to Georgia. That's why she's not here, but she's moved to Georgia, and we appreciate her time, taking out time to talk to us today. Again, we're celebrating 5 years, 5 years. Donate, fundraiser. Yay. Thank you, guys. Sure that we have her time. So Michelle here has started with JMC 5 years ago at the girls' house. And she was one of our direct care persons. And then when there was a need for her to be an on-site program manager, she also did visitation. Yes. The family time visits, she did that as well. And then she ended up being our on-site program manager at our girls' house. So she served there, and then now she's moved on to hot and sunny Georgia. So yes, she's still definitely a part of the JMC family. So she's here to talk to us about her experience. So thank you, Michelle, for being with us. And what I would ask is you share your favorite JMC experience.
I would have to say that one of my favorite JMC experiences was seeing one of the youth that we had come to the home and was just adamant about not wanting to be there. I'm not staying here. I'm leaving here. And by the end of the time for her to go, how she had just completely changed and actually was crying and didn't want to leave the program, wanted to call the director, Trelane, to ask if she could stay, called the social worker. So just being able to see the turnaround, that we really became that safe place and those trusted adults.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. Again, as I always tell people when there's like, JMC, Trelane, you're doing such a good job. And I'm like, no, it's not me. It's the people who are working directly with these youth, whether it's driving them, supervising their visits, or just taking care of them in the homes. Or now we have the foster families, licensing them, or case management. It's not me. It's these wonderful people here. So what about your favorite memory? Was there something funny, or even when it came to an employer, or even one of the kiddos that we had with us?
Oh man, there were so many of those moments with the youth in the home, just doing different things with them, and how they were just so comfortable that they would even from time to time play their little jokes on the staff, do different things. So there was just so many great times with taking the girls out, and just how Claudine was one. She was the favorite for turning on the music in the car, and they would dance and they would sing. And so those are just some of my most fondest memories with being a part of the JMC family.
That is so awesome. And you did an excellent job out there, making sure that the house was clean, because Michelle don't play about nothing dirty. So that house stayed clean, and she decorated it, made it look nice, and just added her personal touches to it that made it feel more like a home. And I know that played a huge part in the kiddos feeling safe and trusting the adults. So why do you think it is so important, Michelle, for us to continue this work?
I think the work that JMC does, it's vital to the kiddos being able to be reconnected with their families. It is that safe place. It is that bridge that either the kiddos can lead to going back home, or they can lead to a safe place where they know that this is a place where I'm comfortable at. These people are going to take care of me. They're present in what I'm doing here. It's just, it has just changed so many lives, the youth that have come through there, that this is just something that has to continue. It definitely has to continue. It's just, I'm telling you, not only teaching the youth, but I've learned so much, and not just a safe place, but these kiddos have gained tools to teach them how to manage their behaviors, because it has been some difficult times, but what they have gained has far outweighed the times that these kids have been in difficult situations. So it is just vital. It's a vital part of just, I'm telling you, young people's lives for what we've done there and what you continue to do and provide.
I really appreciate that. So it's been great. I mean, we definitely miss you here at JMC. You're definitely still part of the JMC family, and what you've contributed to, day one of 5 years, you were the person there, you and Paulette. Well, Paulette came a couple months later, but Claudine and Aretta, you were definitely, and Tony was even before that, just from day one. And so, so you're definitely a part. So if ever you decide to move back, he's like, but we appreciate him. And we had actually, and then just a note that you all may not remember, but we had talked about the possibility, because another organization wanted to have something that we are doing here in Georgia. So if that ever comes to pass, I already know who to go to that knows what they're doing. It just didn't work out financially. It didn't make sense financially, but that's still something that's on the table, where we can have some type of program with youth. And so we already know that we can entrust Michelle to make sure that the work is done with integrity and with care and compassion and empathy for these children. So thank you again, Michelle, for all you did, just your commitment to drive way out to Yelm and be out there and stay late and do what you need to do, training people and visitation, just wherever was needed. That was Michelle. So, and I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to just remember Chuck. I'm getting a little emotional, who was your brother. And Chuck ran our visitation, and he's gone on transition. He was a wonderful, wonderful man, and we loved him as well. And so the Marlowe family, and I know you're McDaddy, but you all have played such a huge part, including your daughter and your nephew, because nephew-in-law, right? Because Gregory, he was also a part of the visitation. So we appreciate just the contribution that your family has made to this organization and stuff. So thank you so much for being with us today, and have fun. Enjoy the rest of your day, and please tell your children, your husband, we said hello.
I will. Bye, guys.
Hello, this is Cynthia, and I really love JMC. I would always ask to go back because they are an amazing group, and they are very supportive and always there for you, and very family oriented too. One of my favorite memories is when Charlene took me and my sister to go get our nails done, and because we were just feeling really down that day and we needed something to perk up our spirits, so she took the girls to go get our nails done, which was really amazing, and we all enjoyed it. And look at us now, we're grown up now. It's so amazing. She has a baby. I'm going to culinary school. They really did support us, and we are who we are right now because of them. So please support them.